We are giving birth every time we come together to a new paradigm, to a new reality, to a new vibration, to a new energy. Somebody once said that, make no mistake about it, that a small group of people can change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has. We may be small in numbers, but we are mighty in consciousness, correct? And on this Mother's Day, we must be the mothers of that new reality. We must be the ones that suspend the pain, the difficulty. You know, usually this is the lowest attended service of the year. Because people have, who has mommy issues? Yeah, I save my issues for Father's Day, but I've got mommies too. So I want to talk a little bit about growing up. Growing up, my grandmother had two little dogs, two precious little dogs that helped her overcome the grief of the loss of her husband. And as a kid who was a little bit odd, a little bit weird, and a little bit filled with anxiety, I had ulcers at age 12, those dogs were my therapists. Those two little dogs saved my grandmother's life, and they saved my life. Yet these two little dogs were probably the epitome of that old phrase that isn't so positive, but it is important to recognize in our history, a face only a mother could love. Anybody ever seen a dog like that? It's like this beautiful animal. You had to look with spiritual eyes. You had to look beneath the surface to find the sweet little puppy. Heidi and Tony. They were my ministers as a child. They were my therapists as a child. They were the healers for my grandmother. But you had to look beneath the surface because they had faces that only mothers could love. They were not the stereotypical cute little fluffy dogs, yet to my grandmother and my heart, they were the most precious animals on the planet. Marakita, who leads the animal ministry, and I hope you'll come join them next week at 9 o'clock. She and I often talk about the unlovable creatures of the world, those things that aren't necessarily so cute like kitties and rabbits and bunnies. We're talking about the hyenas and the cockroaches and the snakes and those creatures that are so easily discarded as ugly. We don't want to look at them, yet they are absolutely necessary to the ecosystem. They are absolutely necessary to life on Earth. Without them, we don't function in the ecosystem and we wouldn't be here. There are a lot of animals, Heidi and Tony, would fall under that thing, and they were rescue animals. And thank God my grandmother had the spiritual eyesight and heart, she was not a spiritual being, but to see the value when she rescued them, to see the goodness, to see the love, to see the compassion, and then call it out and bring them to our house to become what I would say as a child, two of my saviors. There are many, but these animals saved my life. And it made me think today there are a lot of people walking the face of the planet that are like Heidi and Tony. Maybe not in their appearance, but their behavior and their actions and their words and the things that they are doing absolutely, on the surface, are really hard to love, are really difficult to get to what's underneath the behavior, what's underneath the words. Anybody know anybody that comes to mind? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. There's always those places where we make the exceptions to where we can find the face of God. Where, yes, I love everybody, just not them. We don't do that in unity. There's only one of us in the room. Love is love is love is love is love, and I cannot make exceptions to where I am offering my love, or I am out of congruity with the basic teachings of unity. I am out of congruity with the basic foundational principles of love itself. Let's be honest today. I have not found the perfect mother. Anybody have the perfect mother? I do. Okay, we have three. She's in the room, you gotta say that. The reality is, there are mothers on the planet that are far from perfect. But let's turn the tables around. I don't know the perfect child either, where a mother said they turned out just exactly the way I would have them turn out. Not just in appearance, but in behavior, in choices, and in actions. I know I was probably not the apple of my mother's eye. She had to learn to love me because I made choices she didn't agree with. She made choices that her mother didn't agree with. Today is much bigger than a celebration of biological motherhood. So I'm calling the men that are the mothers in this congregation out as well. We are all mothers of realities, of thoughts, of feelings, of expressions and experiences. Today we honor the divine mother energy within all of us. Take your hand and place it on your heart and say, today I honor the divine mother energy within me. Together, Today, I honor the divine mother energy within me. It's that part of you, that spirit that's beneath the surface, that sacred, nurturing, unconditional love that lives inside every soul, regardless of experience, expression, appearance, breed, or gender. That's where we want to live on Mother's Day. That's what we want to give birth to on Mother's Day. For all the people and experiences that might fit the bill, a life, an attitude that only a mother could love. Anybody know that? This attitude, how in the world could even his mother or her mother love them? Rumi said this. Let's say, put the quote up there. Together, we are born of love. Love is our mother. Love is what we are. It's what we have always been. Divine mother love has nothing to do with I love you when you. I love you because you. I love you when you do this, or when you think this way, or you feel this way, or you behave this way. That's not the mother energy that I'm talking about today. That's conditional love. I'm talking about agape love. Say that with me. Agape love. Unconditional. Not I love you because of this or that, but I love you because it is what I am. And I love you because it is what you are. I want you to bring that person to mind, that exception to the rule. Place your hand on your heart. And I want you to get real intimate with them, get real close. And I want you to picture their face right there at the forefront of your mind and say, I love you because it's what I am. Together, I love you because it is what I am. And then see that face. I love you because it is what you are. Together, I love you because it is what you are. I want you to breathe that in. I can get up here and I can talk for the next 50 minutes. I won't. It's a short one today. Or we can sit right there and live in that energy right there, and we will heal the ills of the planet. We will heal all the wars. When enough of us hold this energy, I love you because it's what I am. I love you because it's what you are. But let's take that out of the equation, because all roads begin and end within, yes? How many people stand before the mirror and you've just screwed up, you just messed up at work or with the family, you said the wrong thing, your behavior wasn't so good, and you stand before the mirror and you go, this sucks, you suck. What you're playing around in your tape of your mind about yourself is absolutely playing out in the world. So how you're talking about yourself is showing up in the world. And if you claim that you're not deserving, guess what? People are going to show up to prove your case. And so open your eyes, picture yourself standing in the mirror. Maybe even naked. Oh my God, there's a whole nother, a face only a mother could love, a body only a mother could love. Hand on the heart, and I want you to picture saying to yourself, I love you because that's what you are. Together, I love you because that's what you are. And then, I love you because that's what I am. Together, I love you because that's what I am. It's a complete sentence. I love you because that's what I am, but nope. I love you because that's what I am, if nope. It's I love because it's what I am. There's a lot of healing on the planet that can happen as a result of that. A lot of transformation, yes? A lot of unity, a lot of oneness. I'm giving birth to the one. I'm giving birth to the love, to the Holy Spirit. This is an agape love that holds us even when we have forgotten. Anybody forget this week? This lifetime? I don't have enough hands. A love that holds us even when we are unlovable. How many people would love that kind of slack in your life, that people love you even when you are unlovable? Then why in hell do we not offer that to other people? You know, in Unity, we talk a lot about cutting ourselves slack. Oh, we're the hardest person to love. And I say that's a great cop-out. It's hard to love ourselves, but it's hard to find those unlovable creatures with the ugly dog face, the ugly dog behavior, and to say, I love you anyway, because love's more powerful than any force on the planet. Rumi put it this way. Let's read this together. We got that next quote? Together. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. I believe Course in Miracles teaches the very same thing. What that's saying is you cannot blame anybody else for you're not experiencing love. You can't blame somebody else's behavior that you're not feeling love. You can't point fingers at somebody else who's not showing up. That's the reason you're not feeling love. It is complete and total responsibility. If I am not experiencing love, it's because I have more work to do. If I am not experiencing compassion and kindness, I've got to dig a little bit deeper in the well. It is not about behavior, because if it is about somebody else's behavior, I've given all the power that's been placed into my hands to somebody else. I will love you if you show up a certain way. Here's all the power. I'm saying the time has come to take the power back. The power of creation. You were created in the image and after the likeness of God itself, of love itself, and then you give it away. I'm saying, no, I will love even when it is difficult, even when it is hard, even when it is painful. Now, even though the Divine Mother is a seed within us at all times, her love can lie very dormant like a seed, begging and crying for water. Why? Not rhetorical. I want to hear it from you. Why does that seed that we know is there, we claim every Sunday there, why is it lying dormant and not getting watered? Call it out. We don't feed it. We don't visit it regularly. Isn't it easier? I find it much easier to just hate people. I find it so much easier to just make you separate from me and to just say, you're the responsible that I don't have well-being right now. You're the one that's responsible. That's the easy cop-out road, and I'm not going to take the easy road. Every master teacher, from Buddha to Jesus, loved regardless of conditions. They were under attack. They loved anyway. They didn't like the behavior of others. They still called it out, but they did not give up the capacity to love because they held the power close here. And they sang the song, I'm giving birth to the one, no matter what's going on. I'm giving birth to love, no matter what's going on. I'm giving birth to the Holy Spirit, no matter what is going on. We are called to follow their example and to not make exceptions to where we can find God. We forget, we get caught up in stress. Anybody else get caught up in stress? We get caught up in fear, in shame, performance, competition, survival, and judgment, and we forget that we belong to each other, even the kids with bad behavior. We put on our adult armor of protection. Anybody got your armor on Mother's Day? Usually it's, let's suit up. We're going to talk about mom at church. Let me put my armor on. I cannot talk about that. It's going to be difficult. And we stay home. You guys showed up. You might have a little bit of armor, but you showed up, and that is important. You put your heart into the arena. Even when everybody else would tell you it'd be easier just to run, or to blame, or to hate. We forget that we are the offspring of love itself, even when it is hard to see. But here's the miracle I want you to get today. You're only one breath away from returning home. Take a breath. And release it. That's how close, by grace, you are to being love again, to returning home. When we stop, we breathe, we become still, the Divine Mother within us stirs. Take another breath. Feel the Divine Mother of love that's more potent than your judgment, and let it go. And at the edge of that door, we're returning home to the breath, and the mother stands there with her arms folded, leaned back on her hip, and she says, what the hell took you so long? What took you so long? I was going to say she wagged her finger, but I'm not sure love would wag her finger. But maybe she would, because sometimes we need a wake-up call. I'm telling you, the world needs a wake-up call right now. Have you noticed it? We are the most divided population on the planet. And there's a lot of ugly dogs that are perpetuating a system of duality. You and me, us and them. How's it working for us? I've got to be like my grandmother and see Heidi and Tony, even when it looks like it's ugly on the outside. I've got to love the unlovable because I will be more powerful than that. And how do I do that? How many people remember Irma Bombeck? We're of a certain age. We know Irma Bombeck. Irma Bombeck used to say, you know, when my kids are unruly and they're misbehaving and they're not showing up the way they want, I find that a playpen works really, really well. And then when they come back to their senses and are behaving, I crawl out of the playpen. We all need the playpen that we've forgotten. I call it a sanctuary. What is the playpen within your heart that is calling for you to remember? The great forgetting must stop on this Mother's Day. And the great remembering, find that playpen, that safe place where you know that you know that you know that it's all love, that it's all God. And do whatever it takes to live there, breathe there. And you have to take a Sabbath every 10 minutes, take it. Because to not do it, we are going down a path of destruction. And we're following it, the path of the least resistance, the easy path that says they're ugly dogs, and they're ugly dogs, and they're ugly dogs, and I don't like them. That's not what Divine Mother Energy does. Divine Mother Energy returns home. Every master teacher found their playpen. The mountain, the high watch, the Bodhi tree. They were attacked. I will not give up the love that I am. I'm going to share two stories, and then I'm going to invite the band to come back up. Mary Johnson. Anybody recognize the name? It's a pretty standard name. This woman, I did not know of her until I prepared for today. She's now one of my heroes. Mary's son was shot and killed at the age of 20. The boy who killed him was only 16 years old, and that boy went to prison for 25 years. Mary's world was shattered, and she was consumed with hate and anger. And then one day in her pain, she heard that still small voice. I call it the Divine Mother. And it said, you cannot live with this hatred. It will destroy you. And so she began to pray and eventually did the absolutely unthinkable. She went to visit the boy who killed her son in prison. And in that prison, something holy happened. She did not see a monster. She saw a child, hurting, afraid, and broken. And she chose to forgive. But forgiveness and talk can be cheap. She went a step further. She visited him over and over and over again, and they built a relationship. And when he was released from prison, Mary helped this man reintegrate into society. In fact, moved him in right next door to where she was living. He calls her Mom. She calls him her son. I want to be like that when I grow up. I want to be like that on Mother's Day. Love anyway. This is what Mary Johnson had to say, and that's her, and that's the young man who is her son today. Sorry, I got a little verklempt there. Let's read this together. Unforgiveness is like cancer. It eats you from the inside out. Forgiveness is the most healing force there is. There are a lot of people that are in prison, and they're behaving in very ugly ways on the planet right now. Our job is to help them get out of prison, not to throw away the keys. Because when you throw away the keys to the prison cell that they're living in, you're throwing away the very keys that opened the portal to the Divine Mother within us. A love that transforms a prison into a sanctuary. A love that finds the capacity to give birth to something greater than experience. Feelings, judgments, opinions, and conditions. We don't all have the same dramatic kind of story in our life, but there are people that you have placed outside your heart. And probably with good reason. They're not showing up in a loving way. I'm not saying allow yourself to be victimized. I'm saying be present, be open, receptive, and don't give your power away. Our power, because we are giving birth to something greater. It takes cultivation. It takes regular visits to the playpen. It takes daily practice. Another one of my heroes, Mother Teresa, and many others have said this. They say it together. Hurt people, hurt people. Healed people, heal people. We share an earthly existence. There's nobody in this room who has not been hurt by somebody else, who has not been hurt by an experience. We share that experience, but let us be among the ranks of those that heal what needs to be healed. to forgive that which needs to be forgiven, because the only hope we have as a human race is to heal ourselves, starting here, looking in the mirror. I love you because it's what I am, and I love you because it's what you are. I want you to turn to somebody to your left and your right, and I want you to say that. I love you because it's what I am, and I love you because it's what you are. I'm going to invite you. Be among the ranks of the healed. That's the work that we do here. Don't waste the work that we do here. This can be an entertainment, maybe. Get to see your friends and hang out. If we don't heal what needs to be healed in this room and talk about what needs to be talked about, you're wasting your time. The world needs us to go free prisoners from their cells and to free ourselves. Another story. A little background would be great. During the Syrian civil war, a young mother fled her village with her 6-month-old baby. Her husband had been murdered. Her entire home had been destroyed, and so she had to walk 600 miles to reach safety in Germany. Through mountains, snow, winter, dangerous border crossings. She slept in forests. She drank from rivers, and at one point, she gave her very last drop of water to her baby. And when she finally reached safety, a reporter asked her how she did it. And she said, I had no strength, only love. Love carried us, not my feet. I don't know about you, but physically, with what's going on in the world, I'm tired. My feet hurt. My hands hurt. My heart aches, and it hurts. But love will carry us. Love will carry me. And when she was asked if she was angry with God, this was her reply: no. God is the one who walked with me. I am the mother, but God is the mother within me. Don't give up your power, your unity with the love that you were born in and as. Love moves mountains. That's the mother I want to be. Love walks through wars and doesn't give up hope. Love forgives. Love fears. Love frees prisoners. Love loves just for the sake of loving and does not care about your behavior. Bring that person to mind again. Hand on your heart. I love you because it's what I am. Together, I love you because it's what I am. I love you because it is what you are. Love says yes to life, no matter how ugly the dog. No, you don't have to say that. But if you do at home, go ahead and take that with me. My life was forever changed because I found the capacity to love. I wanted a cute, fluffy little poodle dog. And my grandmother picked Heidi and Tony. And they saved my life. Because they did what dogs do. They loved. Kuan Yin from the Buddhist practice hears the cries of the world and responds with compassion. Cries come in many, many forms. Anybody here an ugly crier like me? I cry and I look like an applehead doll. It's not pretty. And sometimes the cry that's happening on the human planet right now is a cry only a mother can hear. Be that mother who looks beneath the tears and the pain and the bad behaviors and the tantrums and the rude remarks and the divisiveness and the hate. Be the mother who hears the cry, who opens the prison door. Marianne Williamson once said this. Let's read it together. Everything we do is either an act of love or a cry for help. This Mother's Day, I'm asking you to channel Kuan Yin and to hear the cries beneath the behavior, to feel the pain beneath the words, and to be love anyway, because the world is crying. We started this talk today with the question, what are we giving birth to? On this Mother's Day, let it be love that we are birthing no matter what. Let it be oneness, bringing forth the Holy Spirit, bringing forth my true self.